The monarchy stands on the edge of disaster. Camilla's shocking betrayal may be the final blow that destroys King Charles. After years of scandals and whispers, the truth is unraveling faster than the palace can contain it. Camilla, once the secret mistress, has now risen to Queen Consort. But insiders reveal she's not satisfied with just standing beside Charles. She's making her own moves for power. Tune in as the truth unfolds. And the monarchy faces its greatest crisis yet. The scandal that nearly derailed the monarchy. Charles and Camilla first met in 1970 at a polo match. Because of course they did. Nothing screams royal like horses and privilege. Camilla was already part of the elite crowd, confident and charming, and she had Charles hooked instantly. But there was a problem. Camilla was already dating Andrew Parker Bowles, a dashing army officer who was not exactly in a hurry to give her up. What happened next would set the stage for a love story entangled in duty, deception, and a destiny neither of them could escape. Charles was completely obsessed, but royal duties called, and he was shipped off to the Navy. While he was away, Camilla was not sitting around waiting. She married Andrew in 1973, leaving Charles heartbroken. But there was no reason to feel too sorry for him. He was not about to let go that easily. Fast forward to 1980, and the pressure was on for Charles to find a wife. Enter Lady Diana Spencer, the textbook perfect royal bride, young, beautiful, and innocent. At just 19 years old, she had no idea what she was walking into. Charles and Diana's wedding in 1981 looked straight out of a storybook. The whole world watched as they tied the knot, but behind closed doors, it was already falling apart. While everyone was swooning over Diana, Charles's heart was still locked on Camilla, and Diana was not blind to it. She saw the red flags and things got ugly fast. By 1986, Charles and Camilla were fully back in business. The affair was an open secret among the elite, but the palace tried its best to keep it under wraps. That did not last long. In 1992, the truth exploded when Andrew Morton's book, Diana, Her True Story, exposed the dirty details. Diana was not playing nice anymore. She made sure the world knew exactly what was going on behind the royal curtains. And then came her iconic bombshell. There were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded. The public was horrified. Charles and Camilla became the villains of the century, while Diana won the world's sympathy. And just when it seemed like the scandal could not get any messier, along came the Camilla Gate scandal in 1993. A leaked phone call between Charles and Camilla from 1989 made everyone cringe. Charles's choice of words was beyond embarrassing. The conversation was so scandalous that people still bring it up today. It should have been the final nail in the coffin, but somehow Charles and Camilla kept going. By 1996, Charles and Diana's marriage was completely beyond repair, and they finally got divorced. The public cheered for Diana, who had become the people's princess, while Charles and Camilla kept their romance under wraps. Then tragedy struck in 1997 when Diana was killed in a car crash in Paris. The world was shattered, and the royal family was scrambling to keep their image together. Meanwhile, Camilla went into hiding, branded as the ultimate homewrecker. But Charles was not about to let her go, no matter what the world thought. Slowly but surely, he started reintroducing Camilla to the public. It was a slow game of public relations magic, but by 2005, they were finally ready to make it official. The wedding was a quiet civil ceremony at Windsor Guildhall, followed by a blessing at St. George's Chapel. Nothing grand like Charles's wedding to Diana, but it sent a clear message. Charles and Camilla were here to stay. Even Queen Elizabeth did not bother showing up to the civil ceremony, which says a lot about how chilly things were behind closed doors. But over time, Camilla managed to gain some public acceptance, proving herself to be a steady presence by Charles's side. And let us not forget about Andrew Parker Bowles, the man stuck in the middle of this royal chaos. Somehow he managed to stay on good terms with everyone, even showing up at Charles and Camilla's wedding. Rumor has it he knew about the affair all along, but was not too bothered since he had his own fun on the side. Despite all the scandals, Charles and Camilla held on. They made it through decades of public scrutiny, endless headlines, and royal drama. But just when it seemed like they might finally be in the clear, new rumors started swirling. And this time, the trouble was coming from Camilla's own inner circle. whispers from insiders started making their way into the media, hinting at cracks in Charles and Camilla's seemingly solid relationship. Some say Camilla has been making power moves behind the scenes, slowly but surely tightening her grip on royal affairs. Others claim she has grown impatient with Charles, frustrated with his leadership style and the constant public pressure. One particularly juicy rumor suggests that Camilla has been forming her own alliances within the palace, strengthening her influence while subtly undermining Charles. She is no longer content with just being the loyal wife. She wants real power, and she is not afraid to step on some toes to get it. Another theory floating around is that Camilla has been clashing with other members of the royal family. Reports hint at tension between her and Prince William, who has never fully accepted her as his stepmother. William has always been fiercely protective of his mother's legacy, and it is no secret that he holds Charles and Camilla responsible for Diana's misery. Sources claim that behind closed doors, William and Camilla have had more than a few heated exchanges, and the relationship remains icy at best. Then there is the question of public perception. While Camilla has worked hard to rebuild her image over the years, she will never truly escape the shadow of Diana. Many still see her as the woman who broke up the most beloved royal marriage in modern history, and that is a label she will never fully shake. As much as she tries to win over the public, there are still those who refuse to forget her past. On top of everything else, Charles's health has been a growing concern. At 75 years old, he is not exactly in his prime, and some speculate that his declining health could lead to Camilla taking on an even bigger role in royal affairs. This has only fueled further speculation that she is preparing to wield even more power in the monarchy. But just how far has Camilla gone in securing her place? That is where things take an unexpected turn.
The controversial love story. Let's start at the beginning. Back in the early 1970s, Prince Charles met Camilla Shand, and the couple fell for each of them instantly. But there was one tiny problem. Camilla was not exactly princess material. She was older, had a past, and was not considered suitable by the royal standards. So what did Charles do? He went to serve in the Royal Navy, and while he was away, Camilla got engaged to someone else. It was Andrew Parker Bowles, but the shocking part is that Charles and Camilla never really ended things. Even after Camilla married Andrew in 1973, she remained close to Charles, which would later become a major issue. We will get to that in a minute. In 1980, the young and shy Lady Diana Spencer entered this love triangle. She seemed like the perfect match for the future king. Beautiful, aristocratic, and just 19 years old. The fairy tale wedding happened in 1981 with the whole world watching as Diana became Princess of Wales. But behind the scenes, it was anything but a fairy tale. Even before the wedding, Diana had her suspicions about Charles and Camilla. There was that infamous bracelet Charles gifted Camilla engraved with their nicknames for each other, Fred and Gladys. After knowing about this, Diana confronted Charles about it, but he brushed it off and the wedding went ahead as planned. Now you would think after marrying the most glamorous woman in the world, Charles would be thrilled, right? Wrong. The marriage was rocky from the start. Charles was still hung up on Camilla, and Diana quickly realized she was in a three-person marriage. The public, of course, had no clue at first. They were too busy being enchanted by Diana's charm and style, but rumors started soon after that. The press could not get enough of Diana, and they began noticing that Charles seemed distant, cold even. Then came the infamous Camillagate tapes in 1993, where Charles was recorded telling Camilla he wished he could be her tampon. Yes, you heard that correctly. It does not get more scandalous than that. By 1992, it was clear the marriage was over in everything but name. The couple officially separated that year, and the scandalous details started pouring out. Diana famously declared in a 1995 interview, "There were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded." Everyone who listened gasped at this news, but let's be real, everyone kind of suspected it. And who could forget the ultimate fashion statement, the iconic revenge dress? The very night Charles admitted to his affair with Camilla on national TV, Diana stepped out in a stunning off-the-shoulder black dress that showed the world she was full of confidence and was independent now. It was her way of telling Charles that she was done with him. The divorce was finalized in 1996, officially ending one of the most talked about marriages in history. Diana retained her title as Princess of Wales, but the royal family was never the same. The public sided with Diana as they saw her as the wronged woman, while Charles and Camilla were painted as the villains. Despite everything, Diana remained a devoted mother to William and Harry. Then tragedy struck. On August 31st, 1997, Diana was killed in a car crash in Paris. The news shocked the entire world. No one could believe that the young and kind princess had died. The public was devastated. Candlelit vigils, mountains of flowers, and endless tributes poured in for the people's princess. And among all this, suspicions were raised. Was the crash really an accident? Conspiracy theorists blamed everyone from the paparazzi to the royal family itself. To this day, the exact circumstances are a topic of debate. So, what happened after Diana was gone? After Princess Diana. With her out of the picture, Charles and Camilla could finally be together without the shadow of scandal hanging over them, or so they thought. Initially, Charles and Camilla kept a low profile. The public still viewed Camilla as the woman who had come between Charles and Diana, and there was no shortage of resentment. For years, they slowly reintroduced themselves to the public, attending events together and gradually normalizing their relationship. It was not until 1999 that they made their first public appearance as a couple, attending a party at the Ritz Hotel in London. The media went wild, and it became clear that this was a relationship Charles intended to see through despite the controversy. Then in 2005, the couple finally tied the knot. Their wedding was a civil ceremony at Windsor Guildhall, a far cry from the grand royal weddings we are used to. Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip were absent from the ceremony. They attended only the blessing that followed at St. George's Chapel. This was a clear signal that while the Queen approved the marriage, it was not without its reservations. Despite the subdued nature of the event, the marriage was a big turning point for the couple, who had finally gained a degree of acceptance from both the royal family and the public. After their marriage, Charles and Camilla moved into Clarence House, which was once home to the Queen Mother. Here, they established their royal household, with Camilla taking on the title of the Duchess of Cornwall. As the years went on, the public's perception of Camilla softened. She was no longer just the other woman, but a dedicated partner to Charles and a hard-working member of the royal family. Though she chose not to take the title of Princess of Wales out of respect for Diana's memory, Camilla has steadily earned her place within the royal rank. Everything was going great until Prince William made a statement about his father, King Charles, and his wife. So what did he say? Prince William's perspective. Prince William and Prince Harry have always been known for their deep love and admiration for their mother, Princess Diana. From their early years, Diana's influence made them compassionate, grounded individuals despite growing up in the royal spotlight. The brothers were fiercely protective of their mother's legacy as they carried her values forward even after her untimely death. Their bond with Diana was unbreakable, and it is no secret that her loss left a lasting impact on them both. When it comes to Camilla, now Queen Camilla, things were a bit more complicated. William and Harry had to navigate their feelings toward the woman who was, let's be honest, widely seen as the third person in their parents' marriage. It was not easy for them, especially considering how much they adored their mother. But over the years, the brothers have maintained a respectful relationship with Camilla, even as they protected Diana's memory. For William, who is set to be king one day, maintaining a balance between honoring his mother and accepting his father's second marriage would have been really difficult. However, recent events have started a new wave of controversy around Prince William, and it is not just about his relationship with Camilla. The British press has been asking questions about William's financial transparency, or rather, the lack of it. The news is that Prince William reportedly earned 28 million euros last year from his properties, but when it came to his tax contributions, the details were mysteriously absent. This break from his father's tradition of disclosing taxes raised quite a few eyebrows. The British press, never one to shy away from a royal scandal, has been particularly harsh on William. They have questioned why he has not been more forthcoming about his earnings, especially when transparency is expected from someone in his position. This lack of detailed disclosure has led to heated debates about the monarchy's responsibilities and whether William is upholding the standards expected of a future king. After this came another shocking news that King Charles III is paying high rent to live in a property that William inherited, Highgrove House. The irony is not lost on anyone, especially since Charles, who has always championed environmental causes, has hired a new gardener to maintain the estate's 100% eco-friendly garden. The British public is now left wondering about the dynamics between father and son. Is this financial arrangement simply a matter of royal protocol, or is there more to the story? What really has everyone talking, though, is Prince William's recent comment during an interview. When discussing his father's health and living arrangements, William mentioned that King Charles III seems happier living alone, particularly while he has not been feeling well lately. Now, this could be just an innocent remark, but the timing is suspicious, especially given the ongoing speculation about the state of Charles and Camilla's marriage. The question on everyone's mind is, did Prince William just let slip that his father and Camilla are no longer living together? Or worse, did he hint at a separation? It is hard to ignore the fact that William's words seem to suggest that Charles might be more content without Camilla by his side. The idea that Charles is enjoying his time alone, without the company of his wife, has led many to wonder if there is trouble in paradise. Could William's comment be a subtle jab at Queen Camilla, or is he simply concerned about his father's well-being? Either way, the news is shocking. Critics are questioning whether William's words were a calculated move to signal that there is more going on behind the palace walls than meets the eye. After all, this would not be the first time the royal family's private matters have spilled into the public domain. And that's not the only scandal the royals are facing at the moment. What other things are they hiding from the public? Royal scandals. The British royal family has always been surrounded by controversy, and 2024 has been no exception. One of the most talked about issues this year involves Kate Middleton, the Princess of Wales, who mysteriously disappeared from public view after undergoing planned abdominal surgery in January. Kensington Palace released only minimal information, leaving the public in the dark. This lack of transparency has fueled rumors and conspiracy theories. Many were questioning why more details were not provided. Some conspiracy theorists went as far as to say that the Princess of Wales has been killed and now the royals are only releasing AI-generated photos of her. But then Princess Kate reappeared by posting a video on the internet where she told everyone she has been getting treatment for cancer. Prince William, too, has not escaped controversy. There has been significant scrutiny over his financial transparency after it was revealed he earned 28 million euros from his properties last year. Unlike his father, King Charles, who has a tradition of disclosing his taxes, William has not been doing so, which has not gone unnoticed by the British press. This has led to a broader discussion about the monarchy's responsibilities, particularly regarding financial transparency. People are wondering if Prince William will make a good king after his father, given the fact that he is not taking his role seriously even before the coronation. And then Prince Harry continues to stir controversy from across the Atlantic. His ongoing legal battles with the British press, particularly over issues of privacy and phone hacking, have kept him in the headlines. Despite his departure from royal duties, Harry remains a vocal critic of the media, accusing them of the same predatory behavior that contributed to his mother, Princess Diana's tragic death. While the royals were still figuring out how to handle these controversies, another news broke out. King Charles' health. Buckingham Palace revealed to the general public in early 2024 that King Charles III had been diagnosed with cancer. After delivering this shocking news, the palace has been tight-lipped about the specifics. They have refused to disclose the type or severity of his illness. This has caused worry and speculation among the public and the media. Despite the diagnosis, King Charles continues to fulfill his royal duties, albeit mostly behind the scenes. This approach has only fueled more questions about his condition, especially considering that he is often seen living alone at his residence, Highgrove House, without Queen Camilla by his side. What's even more shocking is the revelation that preparations for King Charles's funeral have already begun. It may sound morbid, but in royal circles this is standard procedure. Known as Operation Menai Bridge, the detailed planning for the king's funeral began in earnest on the 20th of September 2022, just a day after Queen Elizabeth II's state funeral. As of 2024, the plans have been carefully crafted, with every aspect of the ceremony being pre-arranged. This includes the route the coffin will take, the guest list, and the period of national mourning that will follow. Operation Menai Bridge is a reflection of the monarchy's long-standing tradition of preparing for transitions well in advance. The very existence of such a plan tells us the seriousness of the king's health issues. If the king's illness is as severe as some fear, the nature of these preparations could indicate that the palace is bracing for the inevitable. But if all of this is true, why isn't Queen Camilla by his side during this difficult time? The couple has faced public scrutiny for years, but this distance has reignited old speculations. Some wonder if the regret of past actions, particularly the pain caused to Princess Diana, has finally caught up with them. Could it be that King Charles has never truly been at peace after all that happened? Or perhaps Camilla too is grappling with her role in hurting the princess. So what if King Charles and Queen Camilla actually separate or divorce? Historical parallels, honestly, it would be a royal mess, and not just emotionally. A divorce at this stage would be a huge scandal, shaking up the monarchy in ways we haven't seen since Charles and Diana's split. If these two were to call it quits, it could lead to serious questions about titles, money, and even who lives where. For starters, Camilla might have to give up her title as Queen Consort. Would she still be part of royal events, or would she quietly fade into the background? And what about the properties, the jewels, and all the other royal perks? Let's just say it would not be simple, and it would definitely get messy. The tabloids would have a field day, and the public would be glued to every twist and turn. To understand what could happen, let's look at some royal breakups from the past. Remember King Edward VIII? In 1936, he gave up the throne to marry Wallis Simpson, an American divorcee. That decision threw the monarchy into chaos, leading to a whole new line of succession. It showed that royal marriages are not just about love, they are about duty, tradition, and keeping the crown intact. Then, of course, there is Charles and Diana's disaster of a marriage. Their breakup in 1996 was a massive scandal that rocked the royals. The dirty laundry was aired in public. Affairs, secret tapes, bitter interviews, you name it. After Diana's tragic death in 1997, the public was even less forgiving of Charles and Camilla. It took years for the public to warm up to Camilla, and even now, some still haven't. If Charles and Camilla were to split now, it could reopen old wounds and make people question the monarchy all over again. The royal family has been through this kind of drama before, so you would think they would know how to handle it by now. The big lesson from Edward VIII's abdication is that the monarchy cannot afford to look weak. They need to stay strong and keep the public on their side. And from Charles and Diana, they learned that airing out their personal issues in public is a bad idea. It just makes everyone look bad. So, if Charles and Camilla do separate, the royals will probably try to control the narrative as much as possible. They will want people to see it as a personal issue, not a royal crisis. And they will definitely be thinking about how this could affect the monarchy's image. Will Camilla be pushed out quietly? Will Charles stay focused on his duties as king? These are the questions they will need to answer, and fast. At the end of the day, a split between King Charles and Queen Camilla would be a big deal. It would stir up all kinds of drama, both inside and outside the palace. But the royals are pros at handling crises. They have been doing it for centuries. The real question is, what's the truth behind all these rumors? Are Charles and Camilla really heading for a divorce, or is this just another royal rumor blown out of proportion? What do you think is really going on? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you want more shocking updates, go ahead and like this video and subscribe to the channel, because we have got a lot more of this. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.